Now that so many of you guys have asked for it, it is finally time. We are going to be rebuilding Spurs, and we're going to do it in the name of Ange Postecoglou. If you guys don't know, this is a man that has gone ahead and won the championship with Celtic with 99 points and a goal difference of plus 80. That is insane. 114 goals scored while only conceding 34. Now, I understand a lot of people do not respect the Scottish League to be very, very competitive. They just think Celtic just runs through absolutely every single team. But at times, that is not actually true. I have watched a lot of games of Celtic in this season as well, and I can say Ange plays an amazing style of football. So Spurs fans, you have something to look forward to. Your new coach is in and he is looking good. Look at him. Welcome to Tottenham Hotspur, Ange Postecoglou. Trust me, guys, this could actually be the first time where I also am kind of excited about a new Spurs coach.
You know, it's exciting.
So let's start off this rebuild by recognizing that the Premier League season is over. We need to look at the things that have not worked out for Spurs and look out into the future of how this team could be playing in the future under Postecoglou. Now, the thing is, Spurs finished in the 8th position on 60 points. Right behind Aston Villa and Brighton, and even behind Newcastle United. When this season started, really a lot of people, most people had Spurs in their top 6, and it's a big surprise to not see them in there. Now, obviously, the bottle job jokes and all of those things will be coming around very, very often, but this Spurs side right here still has so much potential in it and some world-class players. Heung-min Son, Harry Kane. We have these likes of players that can lead this team onto great things, but the way things have gone at Spurs, obviously Daniel Levy, the owner, has gone ahead and brought in coaches like Mourinho, like Antonio Conte. These are managers that have massive egos. Let's just be real with each other. These are managers that are extremely respected, but also kind of feared by players that can cause disruptions within the team and not necessarily work well with a team like Spurs that sadly has been kind of put out there as being a little bit too soft on the mentality side. I mean, Conte has put it out there himself, and he has basically kind of said that this team has not shown enough desire to improve, to work hard, and it has shown. He has left. Conte was kicked out. Mourinho has left as well. And now the new coach, Postecoglou, in my opinion, is possibly the perfect choice for Spurs. I know a lot of people don't know this guy, but I've watched him at Celtic. I know this is a manager that loves to play unbelievable attacking football, but also someone that doesn't just put his, how can I say, his faith into the starting 11. We are talking about someone that rotates like crazy. Like genuinely every single game that I watched for Celtic, at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 positions in a starting 11. It was like a lottery. You just didn't know who would be playing. So with Spurs, it's not just going to be important for us to build a great starting 11. It's also going to be incredibly important to have really good squad depth, which at the same time means that the transfers, the players that are going to be leaving Spurs and the ones that are going to be coming in are going to be very important. So let's get involved with the transfers and the rumors and all that fun stuff right now. Starting off with the most obvious, Harry Kane. He has been linked to the likes of Real Madrid, to the likes of Bayern Munich, and also Manchester United and even PSG. But obviously, right here, Real Madrid have cooled their interest in Harry Kane. Now, here's the catch. Mbappe has gone out there and basically confirmed that he's not going to extend this contract at PSG for another season, which would take it to 2025. Mbappe going out there and basically saying, hey, if you want to make money off of me, PSG, you will have to sell me in this summer transfer window. Just completely throws the striker transfer market it's just a spiral. It is just crazy. So I don't know what's going to happen with Harry Kane. Real Madrid, I don't think is going to happen. If they have a chance to sign Kylian Mbappe, that's what they will go ahead and do. Apparently PSG, though, is very adamant about not wanting to let Mbappe sign with Real Madrid. They would much rather sell to someone else like Manchester United, who might have that Qatari takeover so that they kind of keep him in their system. But the Harry Kane situation, for me, I think it's time. I genuinely think it's time. If he ever wants to go and become a bigger player than just a Spurs player that sadly never won any trophies, this summer is the time for him. So for that, for his sake, I will let him go. But at the same time, of course, I'll be building my own dynasty here at Spurs. And here is the #1 transfer who will be the new #1 for Spurs. Apparently, that man right there, David Raya, is in talks to sign with Spurs. Tottenham and Brentford discussing on final FIFA David Raya to join Spurs. The goalkeeper wants to move. Talks ongoing. Raya will not extend the contract in any case. And yes, with that being said, it looks like this one is going to happen, especially due to the fact that Brentford have already signed a new goalkeeper in Mark Flecken, the goalkeeper of Freiburg. He is a great one. He's going to join Brentford, and they're not going to necessarily miss Raya too much, in my opinion. But this is a very, very important transfer for this Spurs team. Don't get me wrong, Lloris had his moments. Yes, he has been great in certain games, but lately, especially these past 2-3 years, a lot of people have been looking at Lloris and just making jokes of him. He has made so many errors, I should say. And even though if you consider his career, like this man has won the World Cup, still a lot of people are not convinced of him, and I totally get that. So, Lloris, as much as we are thankful for your service here at Spurs, you are going to go, and the same is going to happen with Harry Kane. But there are also players like Danjuma who are going to leave. There are plenty of players, by the way, whose contracts are running out and potentially also running out in 2024 and not being extended, who have to be sold to make profits off of them or at least cash in some money off of these players. And we need to think about all that too. So if we go into the squad hub right now, in FIFA itself, we can see that players like Pedro Porro, he's only loaned in. That is a definite buy. I think Pedro Porro has to be a part of this team of Spurs in the future. Longley, I don't know the situation about him. I'll be looking into it. Kulusevski, of course, as well. But Danjuma, as far as I know, he's not going to be sticking around at Spurs. So we are looking at players like Lucas Moura, who has openly said that he wants to go ahead and go after a new project. So he's going to be possibly going. And then some of these other players, it could be getting interesting with them as well. So we have to keep all of that in mind. And of course, in real life, these guys don't have a 2-year contract left. It's actually only 1 year left for the likes of Perisic, for the likes of Lloris, for the likes of Harry Kane. Hence why you have to go ahead and sell these guys now and cash it. Oh, and by the way, let's not forget about the players that are loaned out. I nearly forgot. Udogie is going to come back to Spurs. This is such a talented player who would be perfect for a left wing back / left midfield type position, just like Perisic, for example. And he could be the future. I'm excited to see him at Spurs. Reguilon, apparently, Spurs are looking to obviously bring him back from loan, but then also sell him on to make some money. So that could be a thing that happens. And then going down the list even more, you have the likes of Joe Rodon. I don't personally know this guy. I don't know if he's a big talent or anything. He's 24 years old. So I assume he's just going to come back and we'll see about his situation. Obviously, Jet Spence, at the time when he came to the Spurs side, he was supposed to be a massive talent, but things haven't really worked out there. So he was sent out on loan, and I don't actually think he's gotten that much playtime. I could be wrong here, but he's going to be back. Of course, he's also going to be back. So we're going to see his situation. Harvey White, I mean, I don't really care about a 64 rated player. And Ndombele, oh man, on his day, Ndombele can just do incredible things on the pitch. But I don't know what's going to happen with him. I've seen an article that talked about him actually looking forward to return to Spurs and start off fresh with the new coach. So I guess Ndombele, you're going to be back next season. Harry Winks, I am hearing that Spurs is wanting to let him go, so he can come back and then be sold to bring in some funds. And the same goes for Giovanni Lo Celso, who Spurs is apparently also looking to sell. Then you obviously have the very talented Bryan Gil, who is on loan at Sevilla. He's going to be back at this squad as well. And then Kulusevski is loaned in. They have Parrott and Scarlett, who are two very talented youngsters who I would loan out as well once again. But that's a different topic. Spurs will need a new number 9 though if Harry Kane leaves. And in our situation, he is leaving.
That makes me sad.
By the way, let me explain to you how Postecoglou might set up at Spurs, considering how he has done at Celtic. And that was a 4-3-3 formation with one player being very, very important, and that is the CDM position. That was McGregor for him at Celtic. That is the man that orchestrates everything. Now, when the Celtic side would be in possession, you'd have the left wing back basically pushing forward like that. You'd also have the right wing back push forward at times, but at this time, it was Alistair Johnson, so he would stay back so that I believe Greg Taylor would be the one pushing forward, and they would form a back three. Basically what Liverpool is doing, but instead of the right-hand side with Trent moving forward, it's the left-hand side. So depending on who he trusts more, which I believe will be Pedro Porro because he has those amazing offensive qualities, he probably will be pushing Porro forward as they have possession, and then have a left back who actually can defend and will be staying back happily. Now, I don't know if Udogie is that guy because he is also someone that loves to move forward, also someone that loves to get involved into the attack. So he will have to make a choice between the two, in my opinion. So depending on that, we will have to think about the transfers as well. But Højbjerg is a great player. He is very good on the ball as well, a very good ball distributor. So I think he could be possibly perfect for this side. But having said that, Bentancur and Ndombele. Now that position in the Celtic side would be Rio Hatate and Matt O'Reilly, I believe. And those two would basically just join in on the attack and make it a front five. So what happens is this guy would be pushing in there, and then the left centre mid Hatate would be roaming around these types of positions and get involved in the attack as much as possible. So I'm thinking, if you have a CDM that just sets up the play and just sits back a little bit, just like McGregor, I don't think McGregor has that many goals or assists. He doesn't necessarily get involved too much in the attacking play. He allows the two number 8s to do as much as they want to. Someone like Ndombele, at the height of his game, would have been perfect for this. So the big question is if Postecoglou can get that out of Ndombele. I kind of doubt it because he has just not been the same guy for a very long time. So we will have to look at Bentancur and realize this is someone that also has great defensive qualities and maybe not the best moving forward. So I think with him, he will still play him and try to fit him into the starting 11 just because he has so much quality. So I'm thinking he will probably allow Højbjerg to orchestrate the game from the midfield and have Bentancur as a supporting actor to Højbjerg, but also try to improve Bentancur's offensive game while allowing the right centre mid, just like at Celtic with Matt O'Reilly, to actually play as much in the attack as possible. So I'm thinking that's the way to go. We will have to bring in a class centre midfielder into the right-hand side of this team. Someone like McAllister would have possibly been perfect for this squad, but obviously he's joining Liverpool. So we're going to have to find a solution, but the 4-3-3 setup is probably the way to go. By the way, I was just checking in on the Kulusevski situation, and it looks like Tottenham are desperately trying to get Juventus to lower the 35 million fee needed to sign Dejan Kulusevski permanently. So a lot of the news that I'm reading are pointing towards Kulusevski being someone that Spurs want to keep. So let's, I guess, assume that he stays. I just realized one thing. With this Spurs side, actually, there is one thing that I might have done wrong so far, and that is Højbjerg as a CDM and Bentancur as a centre mid. I think Bentancur is a lot more press resistant, and Højbjerg is much better in getting goals and assists. I think he has 5 goals and 7 assists this season, which is a great number for a team that was struggling. So I think this setup makes a lot more sense. Bentancur at CDM, Højbjerg at centre mid, because he has those offensive qualities, those finishing qualities. Even though he doesn't have the greatest amount of pace, I'm still for this. Also, lads, seems like Longley is staying. Barcelona needs the money. Tottenham needs Longley. Perfect match made in heaven. All right, so when it comes to the striker situation, it's really hard to find the right one. I'll be honest with you guys. I've struggled here because if you think about the likes of, like, let's say, the best strikers in the world, Kylian Mbappe ain't gonna join Spurs, right? He's probably gonna be joining the likes of Real Madrid. If he does that, then PSG needs a new striker. So the whole striker carousel could become quite interesting. And I think one man makes the most sense right now because the noise about him has died down a little bit. And this might be an opportunity for Spurs to go and get Jonathan David. I think in a system of Ange, he could be perfect. I honestly do believe so. Furuhashi plays for Celtic in a striking position, and they are quite similar. Like, that's the thing. These are players that can be very good on the ball, but are also very good inside the box as finishers. And that's not the only reason behind it. I also looked at the stats of a Harry Kane. You can see right here, I'm an FB ref. And I believe you guys can also tell yourselves, even though this is in German, like these graphs, right? Look at the graphs here. Like you see, this side of things this is Harry Kane, and this right here is our boy Jonathan David. So you can kind of tell there are a lot of similarities between the two, but also Jonathan David makes up a lot that Harry Kane doesn't have, which then again would just be perfect for this Spurs side, in my opinion. So I've done my research on this. I thought about so many strikers. I thought about Tammy Abraham. I thought about the likes of Gonzalo Ramos and all these players that are getting moves, Kolo Muani and all that. And I just think what makes most sense is to have someone like Jonathan David compete against the likes of Richarlison, and whoever does best gets his position, and whoever sits on the bench will be subbed on every single game, because at Celtic, as I said before, Ange rotated like crazy. So if Richarlison is playing well, he plays. If Jonathan David plays well, he plays. So that is the solution I found for the striker position. Now on to center midfielder. Now, in the case of the center midfield position on the right, I decided, you know what? Since I want this to be someone that can be exceptional in offensive things, I'm gonna go for this man right here, Eberechi Eze, an Englishman that obviously plays in a more advanced role in midfield, but this is an incredible talent who is, in my opinion, ready to take that next step, move away from Crystal Palace and join a team like Spurs at a moment in time where things could be looking up. Yes, I think he would be perfect for Spurs. Obviously, there are rumors about James Maddison, who apparently yesterday on his Insta story posted getting to know my new number 9, and it was Wilson from Newcastle. There are apparently links between Newcastle and Maddison as well. That seems to be the team that he's going to. So I decided, you know what? I want someone that can excite the Spurs fans, that can bring back that joy that Spurs fans used to experience watching their team, the offensive, attacking football, which could be enabled by Eze, who comes in and plays in a more advanced midfield role. And this could be the setup for Spurs going into the next season. Now, obviously, it will also require him to get a little bit better on his defensive side of things. But as the offensive option, I don't believe there is anyone better. And I also looked into the left back spot to possibly find someone that can be, you know, that guy that sits back and defends. And honestly, apart from Davies, who already can do that, the options are not that many. So this is the team we're going to go into the season with. I guess they'll have to make a decision on who stays back when we do go ahead and attack. Udogie or Porro. One of you guys, just do the defending, please. So my friends, the first season now is over. We are at the end of May 2023, and we can see that in the Champions League we lost against Inter. No shame in that. They are Champions League finalists, right? So that is fine. We have not been able to get to a cup final there in May as well. And I don't believe that we have gotten too far in any other cup. I can check that out in just a second, though. But let's take a look at the standings in the Prem. So we are finishing in third position in our first season, 78 points, only 5 points off of Liverpool and Manchester City, who decided the championship between them by just goal difference. That shows it has been a very competitive season. Must have been fun. Carabao Cup. Let me see. Man City have won that. So we now know that we have not won a single trophy, which is the Tottenham way. I'm sorry, but we will get there. Trust me. Right now, our team is looking like this right here. We have Heung-min Son on an 88. I think that was his rating the entire time. Jonathan David up to an 84, while Richarlison is only on an 82. That kind of tells me that Jonathan David has won the battle for striker for now. And then we have Kulusevski on an 86, looking incredible. Eze up to an 81. That's a +3. Højbjerg, a centre mid now, 86. Bentancur as a centre defensive mid on an 85. Pedro Porro, Udogie, Romero, all these guys, including our goalkeeper, looking great. Longley, not looking so great. So for that left centre-back position, I have one player in mind that I will be bringing in at the start of next season. He is one of the top 10 players in the world of football that has progressive runs or progresses the ball in the most effective way in Europe. That is just crazy to me, and he's a centre-back. So we'll get him in just a second. But before we do that and improve the Spurs team even more, let's check out the stats. Jonathan David, 32-9. Harry Kane has not been missed this season. Heung-min Son stepped up in the absence of Harry Kane, which is great to see. Kulusevski on a 20-8. Højbjerg, 8-3 from that left centre midfield position is totally fine with me. That right there, though, I'm not happy with. Eze, come on, buddy. We need to step that up. Only 8 goal contributions in 51 games is not okay. And Ndombele off the bench with 4 for himself, which is obviously great. But next season needs to be better. We are a Champions League club now. And there he is, my friends, the new left centre-back of Spurs. Pau Torres, the man from Villarreal. The perfect, yes, genuinely the perfect player for an Ange-type team. If we go into his stats in a second, you will see that this man could be the ideal solution for that Spurs left centre-back position. So let's take a look at it. Right here you can see, in terms of defenders versus other centre-backs in the world of football, progressive passes, he's in the 96th percentile. Progressive carries, he is basically 1%. He's in the 99th percentile. So he's in the top 1% of players for progressive carries. He's also great in take-ons. As a centre-back, he's actually really good at getting past people and dribbling as well. So we are talking about someone that is truly a modern centre-back. And with the formation that Ange likes to play with, 3 players staying back and one of the wing backs moving forward and one of the center midfielders becoming a part of the attack, this could be perfect. Honestly, this could genuinely be the perfect solution for this team. Longley drops to the bench. It's okay. We bring in Pau Torres, and Pau Torres obviously is left-footed. He is perfect for this squad, and I honestly do not think that we need to make any more changes to this team for the starting 11, but for the bench, I do believe we might have to make a change here. Now, I really like Bissouma. I honestly do think that Bissouma could play a big role for Ange in this Spurs side, even maybe make it into the starting 11 at first, but I think I need to bring in a couple of reinforcements that Ange can rotate with. So let's take a look at that Celtic side and see who we like the most over there. Starting off the Celtic-based signings with one of the attackers. It is not Jota, it is Daisen Maida. And I have also seen news about him possibly actually going to Spurs alongside Ange. So he is the first one I'm bringing in. Daisen Maida, welcome to this side. I don't even know what his rating is. What is he rated at? 74. I guess that's okay. I would assume if he does join a team like Spurs, he actually would get a higher rating anyways. So let's take Skip out of this lineup. Put Maida in there. I know we have Hill. Don't get me wrong. But for now, I want to kind of focus on these Celtic players. Obviously, this man probably will get plenty of playtime as well. I think Davinson Sanchez is another one that they are possibly looking to sell. About Emerson, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I haven't seen any news about that one. Is he staying? Is he leaving? Let me know in the comments, guys. But yeah, we have Maida in the club now, and I want to make at least one more signing. So let's do it. Next up, it had to be him. It had to be the Danish centre mid, OReilly. This is a player that Ange seems to really like. This is a very talented one as well that has been linked to multiple teams already. Matty OReilly comes in now, and Ndombele goes the other way, because I obviously cannot have that deep of a squad. I need to make sure that the players are happy. So OReilly is here. Again, not necessarily an upgrade in terms of rating, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's just the right move to make. And also, I think I'm going to take Sessegnon off the bench or Spence. And I'm going to add one more player that can basically play in any position. And here he is. It is Ryo Hatate, another Japanese player. Celtic have been picking up a load of Japanese and Asian players lately. So we are going for Hatate. This is someone that can play in that left center midfield role. Has shown great performances. Like when he's on it, he genuinely looks like Luka Modric. I'm not even kidding. So Hatate is joining this team. Luka Modric comparisons. Modric being a former Spurs player. It just makes so much sense for me. This is someone that can play in defense in the fullback positions, I believe, if I remember correctly. He can also play as a defensive mid, offensive mid. He can even play on the wings. This guy can do it all, and that's amazing. You need players like this. So I am bringing him into the squad right now. Hatate is 77 rated as we speak. Let's take Spence out. And this is now the bench of Spurs. Looks much better in my eyes. So Ange will be a happy man with these players coming in. Season 2 starting now. So the season is over once more. And again, no Champions League final. We are not ready yet. And I'm seeing a lot of losses. We are kicked out by Napoli. Ange, you need to get some trophies, pal. This is not looking good right now. So in the league standings, we are 4th. Which I guess is all right. We are 14 points behind Manchester City in the FA Cup. Where did we get kicked out? We got kicked out in round 6. Carabao Cup. We have not won that either. Okay, guys. Next season, there has to be a trophy won for sure. If there isn't, I'll be extremely disappointed because this team that we have built is strong enough to do so. So let me show you right here. Son on a 91. David on an 87. Kulusevski as well. Ezi now up to an 84. Højbjerg, 88. Bentancur, 86. You have Porro on an 87. Is Bentancur old? No, he's 26. Why does he have a -1? Was he injured? Might have been injured. Udogia on an 83. Torres, 87. Romero, 88. And Raya up to an 85. While the bench players... Someone that I changed to a cam is OReilly. I made sure that he gets subbed on for Ezi. And yeah, Hatate, Maida, Richarlison, everyone looks great on a bench. And even in the reserves, there are some great players in there that can be utilized. So everything that Ange really needs, but the team hasn't been able to find the winning formula yet. But that's okay. We have 30-5 from Jonathan David, 28-14 from Son, 17-5 from Kulusevski, and finally, a banging season from Ezi, who definitely will be growing a lot more next season. I love that. Højbjerg with the 3-5. That's okay. Guys, I think... I don't know. Should I? I was thinking maybe I get rid of Højbjerg or Bentancur. Actually, probably Højbjerg to bring in someone that has a little bit more attacking output. Then again, who would I sign at this point? I don't know. I'll make a decision. Look, I didn't necessarily need to make this transfer, but at the same time, I just wanted to. So we are bringing in one player, and his name is Vitinha. We all know PSG chop and change their team all the time, so why not? Vitinha is joining us from PSG, and he's going to be the one to combine the midfield, the defensive and offensive side in a much better way than Højbjerg possibly can do. I think Bentancur and Højbjerg is probably not perfect for what Postecoglou wants to do, and Vitinha is much more of a player that kind of reminds me in terms of like stature and everything, physicality of a Ryo Hatate. So he comes into the squad. Hatate, you remain on the bench. Chill, all right? Austin, you're not going to be playing center midfield. Vitinha is, and he comes in with an 86 rating. I love that. That is just about perfect. Same as Bentancur. And now, this team has to get trophies. If it doesn't, I'll admit it's a bottle job. Okay, so we got past AS Roma to now play Eintracht Frankfurt in the quarterfinals. Well, that is an interesting one. 4-1 victory. We're also still in the cup up against Arsenal. Big battle. And then Champions League against Man City. Come on, beat Arsenal. That's going to be very important. Yes, well done. FA Cup finalists against Chelsea. And we get past Manchester City as well. Let's go, lads. We're in the Champions League final, and we have just beaten Chelsea. So one of the trophies is secured. Is there a chance that we are up for a treble? Now, I didn't set out at the beginning that this was a rebuild in which I want to go for a treble. because Tottenham haven't won that many trophies, I just wanted to focus on the Champions League. But we have won the FA Cup and we have beaten Arsenal on our way to get there, and Chelsea as well. So Tottenham fans will be very happy about this one. Congratulations, you are ruling London right now, and you're doing it with this squad. The attack just looks absolutely incredible. Honestly, everyone on 5-star. Let's go. Jonathan David was the right choice. Eze, I'm so excited about him, or Eze, however you want to say his name. High attacking work rate on this lad, and he has shown lots of growth this season. Vitinha 88, Bentancur 88. So that partnership has worked out perfectly. I think Bentancur is a little bit taller. Yes, he's 6'2". Vitinha is on the shorter side, so that works out perfectly. And then we have the defense with the new signing coming in and bringing in the 88 rating after his loan spell at Udinese. Torres and Romero looking like a great partnership. Porro on the 89 rating, Raya on an 88, and on the bench, things are looking okay. They are not necessarily looking incredible. I think just for the sake of the final, I'd rather have Hill on the bench than Maida at the moment. So that's going to be one of the choices that I'm going to be making. But let me also see the Premier League. Is there a chance for a treble? How is it looking in the Premier League? 6th? What? What are we looking at there? Oh my god, how did that happen? Okay, so I think, you know why? I genuinely do believe the reason behind this is that I have this 4-3-3 setup with the team, but the fullbacks are counted as left wing back and right wing back instead of left back and right back, which kind of tells the game that I'm being too offensive. And you can see we have 81 goals scored, which is the same as Liverpool, who have won the league, but we have conceded way too many goals, 52. That is the most in the top 7, as you can tell. So I think that might be a formation thing. So just for you guys in the future, if you want to go ahead and use this team, for example, just make sure to turn Udogie into a left back and Porro into a right back, and then play it that way, because otherwise the game just doesn't recognize you having an actual defense. So I guess it just thinks I am defending with Pau Torres and Romero only at the moment, with Bentancur helping them out. But it is what it is. We're Champions League finalists who also have the FA Cup in their hands, so it is fine. Jonathan David 37-5, Son 32-17, Kulusevski 23-8, and Vitinha coming in with the 11-10. That was the right choice. Eze coming in with 8-6 only. It's fine, I guess. I can't wait to see how he's going to play. But I also need to check on the Carabao Cup. Is there a treble chance here? Yes, there is. Oh, let's go. So we have won the FA Cup. We have won the Carabao Cup. And now we have a chance of a treble. Yes, it is not the biggest treble that you can win, but it is still a treble. Liverpool coming in with Diaz, Gakpo, Salah, Barella, Gravenberch, Çalhanoğlu as a CDM, Foyth, Hernandez, Alexander-Arnold, and Truffert. That is definitely a changed up squad, but we don't care. Oh, there he goes. Mr. Rush is the one on the tifo for Liverpool right now. This Ange team is going to be moving forward and doing their best. And you know what? I'm actually going to be giving specific tactical instructions to make sure that we play the most Ange way possible. So Eze, for example, he will stay forward, get into the box for the crosses as well. He can somewhat free roam if he wants to. And then on the defensive side, I'm not really necessarily expecting much from him. In terms of moving forward, I think I'd rather have Porro moving forward. So that's the way we're going to set up. I think the rest of the team, someone like Bentancur, for example, stays back while attacking and covers the center. Those are some of the basics. Obviously, you can't set up in a way where you have a formation in possession and another one in defense. So ideally, that's something that I would love to see in the next FIFA. Gakpo straight away. Obviously, Liverpool and Spurs have history in terms of Champions League finals against each other. And Raya makes a huge save off of Gravenberch's shot. As you guys know, Liverpool have beaten Spurs in the Champions League final last time around. And honestly, looking back at it, I think I saw an interview with Trent Alexander-Arnold. And he was saying that they just knew that they would win that game when they went into it. Like, they were very comfortable going into it because they knew they were the better team. And That is insane amounts of self-confidence right there, and I love it. But here goes Kulusevski. Near post is the only option. But against Alisson, it's not really an option. Ooh, that's a good ball. Pedro Porro being caught off guard here. But the defense is fast enough to cope with it, and Pedro Porro is good enough to get back and help us out as well. So now, moving forward on the left with Udogie as Porro stays back to help the defense if needed. Vitinha giving too much space. His shot again against Alisson. I don't know if that's the right way to go about it. Liverpool moving forward, but Bentancur jumping in, and Kulusevski with space as he joins in on the attack. Do I find him here or not? No, I don't think so. We're going to bring this back to Pedro Porro. He's going to move it forward. Lovely move here. As he inside, and even in a 1v1 situation, we cannot get past Alisson once more. Ooh, yes, 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 yes. Come on. Steal. Eze. Son. Eze again. Oh, lovely work. Loving Alisson. Yes, that's the way to do it. 43rd minute. The attack has worked. Yes, it has. Eze, Son, Jonathan David. Here we go. Angie's Tottenham can possibly win this Champions League trophy. Surely they're going to play this short. I can feel it. Oh no, Hakpo shoots. Whoa. Yes. Jonathan David. Eze. Come on, buddy. Let's have a bit of fun. Kulusevski making a great run, and that is the pass he needed. And now he's going to find Jonathan David. I tried, man. The build-up was class, but Alisson is just still better. Oh, that's good. Darwin Nunez now in the game, and Raga has to step in for that one. Win that. No, Darwin again. Near post. Man, he is causing trouble. Jonathan David struggling against Trent. Eze now in the forward position, exactly as I want him to be. He's getting past people. He's finding the right ball. Wow. Was that offside? I think it was. That was really well done. Ooh, there's an opening on the left for Liverpool. Porro trying to get into position. I need that under control, and I'm not getting it under control. Oh boy, late into the game, that could have been the chance for Liverpool. But Eze plays a ridiculous pass for Kulusevski to end it all. Dejan Kulusevski. It is done. Tottenham are winning the Champions League. Just like Liverpool, scoring the second goal against Spurs, sealing off the Champions League title. This one does exactly the same. Beautiful. Eze, what a pass that was. And Kulusevski, congratulations. You are a hero now. Oh, wait, I'm not done yet. I am not done yet. I'm going to be done now. Oh, look at that. It's done. He is the one. He is the chosen one, I swear to God. Eberechi Eze. Look at that. Just about around Luis Diaz. And then beating Alisson from that far. This kid is the chosen one. What a performance in a Champions League final. Honestly, guys, Harry Kane needs to think about him leaving. If he goes, maybe, just maybe, there might be something historic happening at Spurs. Who knows? If the right transfers are made, anything is possible under Postecoglou. Trust me, Spurs fans, you have gotten yourself a great coach. And if you give him that trust, he can turn out to be a big one for you. Someone that you can identify with for a long time for the club. And yeah, that's me done. Heung-min Son lifts the trophy as Eze dominates the Champions League final. Have a great day, guys. Take care and peace.